Your muscles can shrink after 75, even when your weight stays the same. And one common breakfast choice may be leaving them weaker every single month. If you want to stay healthy and independent as you age, hit that subscribe button right now. We share simple, science-backed health tips like this every single day. After years of watching the same patterns in aging research, one thing stands out again and again. Most seniors are not failing because they stopped caring. They are failing because no one told them that older muscle plays by new rules. And today, I'm going to show you one fruit-based protein food that can help you fight back, how to use it, and how to make it work better than eggs in the right situation. Now, before we continue, tell me your age and where you're watching from in the comments. This helps us understand who we're helping. Here's what most people get wrong. They think muscle loss after 75 is only about exercise, or they think one egg at breakfast solves the problem. It doesn't. Look, eggs are not bad, but after 75, your body often has anabolic resistance, which means your muscles do not respond strongly to small protein meals anymore. The signal gets weaker, the message arrives late, and your muscles act like an old radio with static. That is why the usual advice can fall short. A 2025 review from Queen's University Belfast found that in older adults, plant and animal protein did not show a significant difference for muscle strength or physical performance overall. That matters. It means plant protein can work. But here's the catch. It has to be used the smart way, with enough total protein, enough of the amino acids that trigger muscle repair, and the right meal setup. And there's another important detail. A 2024 study from Maastricht University found that older adults had 47% higher muscle protein synthesis, which is the repair process that builds muscle, after a meat meal than after a matched vegan meal. Does that mean plant foods are useless? Not at all. It means equal protein on paper does not always act equal in the body. Your meal needs the right amount, the right partners, and the right timing. So, what is the fruit protein I want you to know about? Pumpkin seeds. Yes, pumpkin. It's botanically a fruit, and the seeds are where the protein power sits. Most people treat them like a snack, but for older adults, they can be a small muscle tool hiding in plain sight. Number 5, more protein in a smaller package. Most people think eggs are the easy winner, but actually 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds, also called pepitas, can give you around 8 to 9 grams of protein, while 1 large egg gives about 6 grams. Not more nutrition in every possible way, but more protein in a compact, easy-to-add serving. That matters when your appetite is smaller than it used to be. Sound familiar? Here's the thing. After 75, appetite often drops. Chewing gets harder. Big meals feel like work. That's why compact food matters. Pumpkin seeds are like carrying firewood in smaller bundles. You still need enough wood for the fire. You just don't need a giant log on the plate. A 2023 review from McMaster University reported that older adults often do better with about 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. That is about 50% to 90% more than the basic adult recommendation of 0.8 grams per kilogram. So if you weigh 150 pounds, or about 68 kilos, you may do better around 82 to 102 grams a day, depending on your health and what your doctor says. That is hard to hit if breakfast is only toast and coffee. So how do you use this? Start simple. Add 2 tablespoons of ground pumpkin seeds to oatmeal. That gives you roughly 4 to 5 grams of extra protein. Add another tablespoon to yogurt, applesauce, or soup. If you can chew well, use 1 full ounce as a snack. If chewing is hard, grind them first. That one step changes everything. You get the nutrition without making your jaw do all the work. And let me be clear, I'm not saying throw away your eggs. I'm saying stop depending on 1 egg to do a whole job. 1 egg is a helper, not a miracle. Pumpkin seeds give you another lever to pull. But wait until you see number 4, because this is where most seniors miss the real muscle trigger. Number 4, the leucine signal. Most people think protein is just protein, but actually, older muscles need a stronger signal to turn repair on. That signal often comes from leucine, an amino acid that acts like the ignition key for muscle building. If total protein is the pile of bricks, leucine is the worker who starts the job. No worker, no building. Make sense? Pumpkin seeds do contain leucine, but not enough by themselves to fully hit the target older muscle often needs in 1 meal. That does not make them weak. It means they work best in a team. And this is where many people get confused. A 2023 study from the University of Naples Federico II looked at 138 older adults with type 2 diabetes and found that none of them reached the recommended protein or leucine target at breakfast. None. Then 59% reach the protein target at lunch and only 32% at dinner. For leucine, only 29% reach the target at lunch and just 13% at dinner. So the biggest muscle problem may not be your dinner. It may be your weak breakfast. What should you do with that? Build breakfast like it matters. Because it does. Try this. Mix 2 tablespoons of ground pumpkin seeds into 1 cup of Greek yogurt. Add berries. That gives you a better protein load. Or stir 2 tablespoons into 1 cup of soy yogurt with a spoon of chia seeds. Or add them to hot oatmeal made with milk or fortified soy milk instead of water. You are not just adding calories, you are building a signal. If you want a very easy target, aim for at least 25 to 30 grams of protein in one main meal, especially breakfast or lunch. That might be 1 cup Greek yogurt, 2 tablespoons pumpkin seeds, and a side of milk. Or 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons pumpkin seeds, and half a cup of cottage cheese. You do not have to be perfect. You do have to be intentional. Quick question. Have you noticed weaker legs, trouble standing from a chair, or less grip strength lately? Comment yes or no below. Now let's go deeper, because number 3 is where this fruit protein starts doing something eggs alone often do not do as well. Number 3, it brings muscle helpers, not just muscle fuel. Most people think muscle is only about protein, but actually your muscles are more like a car engine. Protein is the fuel, but you still need spark plugs, oil, and working wires. Pumpkin seeds bring magnesium, zinc, and other minerals that support muscle function, nerve signals, and recovery. Without those helpers, your muscle message can misfire. Magnesium matters more than most people realize. Your muscles use it to contract and relax. Too little, and the system can feel sluggish. You may notice cramps, tightness, poor sleep, or that heavy, tired feeling in your legs. Does that sound familiar? And there's a bigger lesson here. A 2023 study from Università Cattolica del Sacro Cuore in Rome looked at 2,963 older adults and found that probable sarcopenia, which means likely age-related muscle loss, showed up in 25.9% of people with low Mediterranean diet adherence, compared with 19.1% in the good group and 15.5% in the high group. In plain English, whole eating patterns matter, not one superfood, not one pill, the whole pattern. That is why pumpkin seeds can be useful. They fit into a stronger pattern. You can sprinkle them on beans, on yogurt, on oatmeal, or on vegetables. You can blend them into soup. You can turn them into pumpkin seed butter. That makes them easier to eat and easier to repeat. And repeat is what changes a body. Try this routine. At lunch, add 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seeds to a bowl of lentil soup. Then have half a turkey sandwich or half a tofu sandwich. At dinner, stir 1 tablespoon into cooked vegetables or mashed sweet potato. It sounds small, right? But small is the point. Older adults often win with tiny upgrades they can actually keep doing. And here's the contrast you need to remember. Not fancy meals, but repeatable meals. Not perfect plans, but strong habits. But wait until you hear number 2, because this may be the missing step that decides whether the protein you eat becomes muscle or just lunch. Number 2, protein works better after movement. Most people think food builds muscle all by itself, but actually movement opens the front door. Even a little movement helps your muscles become more ready to use protein. Think of it like dry soil. Water runs off hard ground, but loosen the soil first and the water sinks in. That is why a simple walk before a meal or a few chair stands before breakfast can matter more than people expect. You do not need a gym. You do not need heavy weights on day 1. You need a signal, a reason for your body to keep muscle instead of losing it. The same 2024 Maastricht University study teaches an important lesson here. Older muscle responds strongly when the amino acids arrive in a usable way. So don't just eat pumpkin seeds at random. Pair them with action. Do 10 sit-to-stands from a sturdy chair. Walk the hallway for 5 minutes. Do wall push-ups, then eat your protein meal. You are telling your body these muscles still have a job. Here is one simple plan. Before breakfast, hold the kitchen counter and do 10 slow calf raises, then 10 chair stands, then 10 wall push-ups. That takes about 3 minutes. After that, eat a breakfast with at least 25 grams of protein. For example, 1 cup Greek yogurt, 2 tablespoons ground pumpkin seeds and fruit, or 2 eggs, half a cup cottage cheese, and 1 tablespoon pumpkin seeds on the side. That is not extreme. That is strategic. Before we go further, if this is making sense so far, hit that like button. It tells me you want more videos like this. And now, the most important one of all. Number 1, The best muscle food is the one you can eat every day. Most people think the perfect food will save them, but actually, consistency beats perfection every time. Pumpkin seeds outperform eggs in one key way for many older adults. They are easier to stack, easier to add, easier to repeat. You can put them in oatmeal, yogurt, soup, smoothies, soft vegetables, or even applesauce. Try doing that with eggs 5 times a day. See the difference? This is especially useful if you get tired of eggs, if eggs upset your stomach, or if you already eat eggs and still feel weak. You do not need a full replacement. You need an upgrade. Pumpkin seeds help fill the gap without making your meals feel huge. If chewing is easy, use 1 ounce a day. If chewing is harder, grind them and use 1 to 2 tablespoons at a time. If your appetite is tiny, use pumpkin seed butter. If mornings are rushed, keep a jar on the table and add a spoon to breakfast automatically. Why leave it to memory when you can make it a habit? And let's not forget fruit. Since this is a fruit-based protein strategy, pair pumpkin seeds with real fruit that adds vitamin C like berries, kiwi, or orange slices. Vitamin C helps support collagen, which is the structural material in muscles, tendons, and joints. Try 1 cup yogurt, 2 tablespoons ground pumpkin seeds, and half a cup berries. Or oatmeal with pumpkin seeds and chopped kiwi. Simple, soft, repeatable. I'd love to hear your story. What made you click on this video today? Share in the comments. Now let's pump the brakes for a second. I'm not saying this to scare you, but even healthy foods can be the wrong move for the wrong person. If you have a seed allergy, trouble swallowing, severe chewing problems, advanced kidney disease, or you have been told to limit potassium or phosphorus, talk to your doctor or dietitian before adding a lot of pumpkin seeds or pumpkin seed protein powder. Also, pumpkin seeds are calorie dense. That means a small amount packs a lot of energy. Great if you are undereating. Not so great if you mindlessly snack on cups of them while sitting all day. Start with 1 to 2 tablespoons, not giant handfuls. And if fiber bothers your stomach, increase slowly and drink enough water. If you take magnesium supplements, antibiotics, thyroid medicine, or osteoporosis medicine, ask your pharmacist about timing. Food is usually gentler than supplements, but it still makes sense to be careful. And if you have sudden muscle loss, repeated falls, new weakness, trouble getting out of bed, or unexplained weight loss, please do not just fix this with snacks. See your doctor. You may need blood work, strength testing, or a full nutrition plan. So you're convinced, but thinking, how do I actually do this? Start with the easiest version first. Buy plain pumpkin seeds. If chewing is hard, grind them in a blender and keep them in a jar. Add 1 tablespoon to breakfast for 3 days, then move to 2 tablespoons. Then decide if you want to aim for 1 ounce a day. If you want the simplest routine possible, do this. At breakfast, add 2 tablespoons of ground pumpkin seeds to yogurt or oatmeal. At lunch, take a short walk before eating. At dinner, make sure there is another real protein source on the plate. That could be fish, beans, tofu, cottage cheese, chicken, or eggs. Pumpkin seeds are not magic alone. They are part of a muscle system. Need a budget-friendly option? Buy pepitas in bulk. They are often cheaper that way. Grind a week's worth at once. Store them in the fridge. If pumpkin seeds are hard to find, pumpkin seed butter also works. If both are too expensive, keep the lesson and change the food. Use another easy add-on protein you can repeat daily. The principle still stands. Look, there's a lot of noise out there. One person says, eat only meat. Another says, eat only plants. Another says, drink a shake and everything is fixed. You don't need to overthink this. Your muscles after 75 need more attention, more protein, and smarter timing than they did before. Start with just 2 tablespoons of ground pumpkin seeds at breakfast and a few minutes of movement before your meal. That's it. Your body will tell you if it's working. Standing gets easier. Walking feels lighter. Your grip feels stronger. Your energy stays steadier. If this helped you, hit that like button. And if you want more videos like this, make sure you're subscribed because we post new health tips every single day. Stay healthy, stay strong,